2023, 7 p.m. Norwood Township.
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Rob, you want to do the prayer? Thank you.
Father God, as we gather here tonight, Lord, that you will be with us and that you'll help us make decisions that are best for you and for this township. Lord, that you just help us prepare our hearts for the coming holiday, Lord, and to celebrate your Son, Jesus. I pray this all in Jesus' name. Amen.
Okay, you want to call the roll?
Sure. Trustee Shake. Here. Trustee Rivera.
Here.
Trustee Clausen.
Here.
Trustee Bonovo.
Here.
Supervisor Ballard.
Here.
All right, we have a quorum.
Okay.
I'd like to make a motion to move agenda item 4C to after the return to open session number 14, in between 14 and 15.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have first?
I'll start that motion. I'll second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Okay, motion passes. Thank you.
And I'd also like to make a change, number 12 on the agenda. Move it up to before the clerk's report, which I guess you consider maybe 3B.
Okay.
You get a second now?
We need an initial motion, one motion.
Yeah.
I'll start.
Okay.
And
And I need a second.
Angel seconded it.
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? All right, motion passes. Thank you.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to start with open, sorry, let me just go back to, we'll start with public comment then. Ellen Moriarty. Ellen, you have 3 minutes. You just want to give me 1 second so I can
No,
start
my
my
name
clock?
wasn't first.
Well, the person who was first. You have you have the floor, Ellen. Go ahead, 3 minutes.
What happened to the person who was first?
If you'd like to go, Ellen, it's your turn.
No, I'm not going to speak.
Okay, fine. Okay, Mike Carlson.
I was first. So I
Okay,
just
so
want to...
why wasn't I second then? Why'd you put-
Order, please.
Let's wait.
Mike,
This
I
way.
will give you 3 minutes if you'd like to speak.
I sure would. I would
Then
love
I'll
to speak.
reserve the right to speak after Mike.
So
You had your
anything
chance.
that crazy woman says, she's nuts. I just want to say,
Excuse me?
all the work that Mike Bonomo has put in for the seniors, for the vets, and his team, and they have done a great job. And all you people do is knock them down to the ground when this township is the only township I've ever seen that gives a rat's ass about anything. They care about anything that goes on in this town. They care about their seniors. They care about their vets. And you make comments on Facebook about every member here. You know, that's not right. Grown up. Don't talk to me. So, yeah, you are a senior. Why don't you help out instead of making a problem? And then you're sitting there talking about your supervisor, Ballage, over here, about how he did something. I heard you behind there about paying, who paid for this, who paid for that. Do you know how much money this township has saved these people? You guys need to grow up on Facebook with your 400 people. With your 400 people. It's ridiculous. I was looking into the camera, not her. So I just feel that people need to grow up. They need to stop talking crap about the board members on this township and work with them, not against them. You'll get more work done in this community if you're with them and not against them. Because I have never seen a freaking Christmas party like this. Tomorrow is going to be one of the best Christmas parties that this township has ever hosted. And these people work their tails off. I know that because I do a lot of volunteering myself. Last year I helped with the Christmas party and I was sore for 3 days. My legs were ready to fall off. And how dare anybody make fun of anybody that's trying to help with this Christmas party. There's nobody in town here that can hold 250 people. Denolfo's could have probably held them, but they don't have the kind of deals that this place made. And the Grand Crystal Ballroom in Lamont, they live in Homer Glen, and they have a great business over there. And you know what they did? They offered the township a hell of a deal that nobody could ever offer, and that's why it's there. Not only that, it's just not about the money. These people volunteer so much work, time, and effort into what they have to do. and you guys do nothing but rip on them and put them down. It's the same 10 freaking people on Facebook. It's the same group that comes here. You guys need to grow up and look at what's going on in your town and care about what's happening. That's all I gotta say. I could go on for hours.
Thank you, Mike. All right, Jim Shea, thanks, Mike.
I hear a lot of talk about, you guys need to represent everybody, you know, you need to represent this group, you need to represent that group. Well, you represent the most diverse group in this township, in this country. Okay, this group is every ethnicity, right, and every background. The group that you represent is the taxpayer. Okay, and you've been fighting for the taxpayer since you got here. What does the taxpayer want? I mean, they just want basically lower taxes, which is what you've all been giving them. Mike Gondek just got here. He's already saved the township probably $20,000, maybe $50,000 with what he's been doing. Brent Portfolio, every time he opens his mouth, he saves $100,000 for this township. With Angel and Mike Clausen and myself, we got together with Steve. We saved $100,000 over at Founder Circle by just fixing different problems, okay? $100,000. It's been, I don't know, it must be in the millions so far, okay? Everybody on this group has been saving the taxpayer money, and that's who you represent, the taxpayer. Now, this is a true democracy. This isn't, you know, we don't have a Congress and a Senate here. We don't represent disparate groups from different, you know, areas of the township, okay? We represent the majority. This is a true majority rules government here, okay? And who is the majority? The majority is the taxpayer, okay? 33,000 people live in Homer Township. There's 14 churches in a 4 square mile radius, okay? 90% of these 33,000 people identify as Christian. Even if they say they don't go to church, they still identify as Christian. And that's the majority that you represent, okay? Why aren't they here backing you up? Okay? All they know is what they see and what they hear on Facebook and what they see here in these meetings, and what they see and hear is chaos, okay? They don't remember that you saved them millions of dollars. They have a short memory, okay? So you need to send them a message so they can understand that you're on their side, all right? That message is no, okay? When they want to put a big giant middle finger up right next to the nativity, flipping off 27,000 people in this township, okay, you need to send a message to the taxpayers that you got their back. You need to say no. Not just no, but hell no. We're not going to put up with it. Because when the next pandemic comes around, who's going to be on our side? The same guy who was last time, who said, no, we're not doing the vaccine, we're not doing the mask thing, we're not doing it. Okay, we see how that turned out. That was a scam,
10 seconds.
right? So the taxpayer, they just want you to have their back. And when you have their back, they'll have your back. Okay? Thanks.
Okay, so the next thing on the agenda?
Yeah, you're proposing that approval of the minutes?
Sure, if you guys can all look at your packet, I do have the November 6th monthly township board meeting minutes in there, and I'd like to get a motion to approve those minutes.
I'll start that motion.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Okay, motion passes, thank you. The second item is motion to approve and release or not release the November 23rd, 2021 executive meeting minutes. I would like to see a motion not to release those minutes.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Okay, motion passes, thank you. Same with the next one. I would ask not to release those minutes.
I'll start that motion. I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Okay, motion passes, thank you. And the same with the fourth one.
I'll
That's all.
start that motion.
Okay.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, any nays? Okay, motion passes, thank you. The next item, Steve, did you want to talk about the tax abatement? Okay,
Do it right now.
okay, So motion to approve tax abatement for the township's general obligation bonds, series 2021, in the sum equal to the levy.
I'll start that motion.
I'll second.
Okay. I will take roll call for that one. Trustee Rivera,
Yes.
trustee Shape,
Yes.
trustee Clausen,
Yes.
trustee Bonomo,
Yes.
supervisor Ballage.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes, thank you. And we've moved 4C to after 14, so that concludes my report.
Okay. We're going to the supervisor report, and first thing on there is Hadley Road. They're trying to make, the county wants to do 5 lanes, 2 lanes in each direction with a center turn lane, and it's already rated for 80,000 pounds, so it will be a truck route. So when the trucks get off of 355 and they want to go east, they're going to be using it without a doubt. And the traffic will increase also. And where we have a problem is, it's a little different than when you go east of Bell Road, where they already have that type of configuration. The west end, there's all kinds of houses with driveways. And a lot of those driveways are flag lots where you have 3 or 4 houses deep. So you're making it so it's almost a serious safety problem for them to come out of their own driveways. There's also farms there, and the people with the farm animals, when they come out, they're not gonna be able to make a left because the cars are gonna be going too fast. They'd have to cross 2 lanes plus the turn lane. And it's not safe for their animals, because the animals are in a trailer. So if they're gonna go that much, they're gonna be falling. So what'll happen, the people on those farms have to go west. They have no choice. Then they gotta figure out how to turn around to go back east, if they have to go east. So then they, it's a problem for everybody. It's a problem for anybody that lives up east of Bell also, because those trucks that are coming down from the expressway, they're going into Orland Park or Cook County somewhere, and those trucks are gonna go east of Bell. So all the subdivisions east of Bell off 143rd are affected also. Now, I'm on the county board also, and I brought this up that we don't want that here. And our road commissioner there said that they got $7 million in 2012 to do that. And so I told them in 2012, it was a different circumstances. There were no warehouses then. We didn't have anything like we have then, now. So things changed. So I've been working with the board, and we got the Republican caucus right now entirely on our side, and 2 of the Democrats, so that's enough to carry the vote to stop it. And I'm sure that the road commissioner is very upset about it, because he's gonna have to give the $7 million back. But at the same time, here, we all live here. We can't have something that's gonna be unsafe. Now, putting 1 lane in each direction and a center turn lane would not be intrusive at all, and it would be a lot safer, and you wouldn't have any traffic jams, because the only time that road jams up is somebody makes a left. So the best thing to do, if you're watching this, is send an email to the county board at willcountyillinois.com, the whole word, Illinois, and express your opinion. When the last meeting we went to, they read emails for about 45 minutes. And there were about somewhere around 35 people that came and spoke against it. And that's in the middle of the day when people took off of work. So the first Tuesday in, would be January, is when they're gonna have the next meeting. And they're gonna take it to a vote of the committee, and then it's gonna go to the full board for a full board vote, because there's so much controversy about this. So like I said, it's a real important issue for everybody here. So you can send emails to countyboard@willcountyillinois.com. And if you want to show up, the meeting's at 9 a.m. at the county building, 302 North Chicago. It's second floor. So I would suggest that anybody that lives off 143rd Street, and even if you don't, if you're in Pebble Creek and you want to get out on 143rd Street, good luck. Because you're going to have to come out and, unless you're going to make a right, you're going to have a problem. This District 92 School District, they came to the board meeting and spoke against it. They said it's dangerous for their buses. So, again, we need the people to show up, and if you can't show up, at least send an email. Okay, and then the Hadley Road thing isn't on here, but the Village of Homer Glen was given the road by the county. So as of right now, Homer Glen has Hadley Road. They refused to give me a written answer as to why they did not give us the jurisdictional transfer first, because we were the first ones in there. And they're just using an excuse that they said township can't take it. And I disagree with the state's attorney, and I told them that it's only an opinion, so now I want it in writing. And I have yet to get it, and the chairman of the board has asked for it in writing, so we're probably gonna get it in writing. But it's very reluctant, so that means that if they don't wanna give it to us, I'm of the opinion, even if it says that they can't do it, that it's not necessarily correct, because state's attorneys are only opinions. So if we listen to a wrong opinion, that's on us. But at this point, giving it to the village, that's fine. As long as the village is gonna protect the road, the township has no problem with it. We just don't wanna see that road go into a truck route, which was gonna be planned. That was gonna make it so you could go right through Hadley into Orland Park and the rest of Cook County. And just letting everybody know that as long as I'm on the board, I'm gonna be fighting against that, because in my opinion, they wanna make through streets for trucks coming from that expressway. So if they do it at Hadley and they do it at 143rd, well, what one is next? 167th? Because that stops and it connects to Hadley. 151st Street, that's not their road, but are they gonna try to push it for 151st? I don't know the answers to that, but I do know that it seems to me that they're trying to send trucks up our streets. And we're doing the best we can to stop it. The township board voted no. And so we maintain no. And we maintain in favor of the people at Hadley Road also. So with that, I'll move on to the next item. Zoning case CZ 2315. I sent that on an email to you guys. Did anyone have a problem with that?
No.
I didn't either,
No,
but,
those are right.
okay, so then we can just move on with that. There was no problem. I could send it to the county and tell them that we don't have a problem with it. Discussion of agreement sent to the Village of Homer Glen to remove.
Do we need a motion for that?
If you're not opposing it, I don't
No.
think so.
Okay, all right.
If
No.
you're opposing it, I would recommend
Then we
a
would
motion.
need it,
Yeah.
but no, we're just gonna say it's okay.
If you're not gonna object or submit an objection,
Right.
I think it's okay.
Okay, then discussion of agreement sent to the Village of Homer Glen to remove Homer Township property from the Village of Homer Glen and take it back as unincorporated property. As of yet, we haven't got an answer really, so I don't know, it's still up in the air. The village still has, it's going on the referendum to dissolve the township. And, the language that's coming out of the village is kind of confusing, but I don't know exactly where they're going, but the whole bottom line is, if they're working to dissolve the township is not gonna sit back and do nothing. Township is gonna fight to keep the township going. The township, in my mind, is the only thing preventing the village from doing things to people that they might not like. Because if there's no township, what unit of government is there to protect you if you're in the village without the township? You can come to the township, and if the township board agrees, we are there to protect you. But it's happening already with Hadley Road. That was the first one. the village of Homer Glen, the mayor came to the meeting and said she doesn't want 143rd Street to have truck route either. So, thank God for that. So the village and the township are on the same side. We have a better opportunity of winning. But again, if you look what you get for, when you're in Homer Glen, the city, you get rules, regulations, and taxes. And everything else comes from a private company or a government body. So you don't really get much by being part of the village of Homer Glen. So when they say you don't get anything from the township, think about it. What do you get from the village of Homer Glen? Absolutely nothing. The township, you do get things. You get the senior stuff. We do stuff for vets. We will be doing stuff once we get to Civic Center. We will be doing a lot of things with kids, a lot of things with special need kids. We plan on having, we're not in the beginning because we don't have enough money at first, but we have people working on grants. But we do plan to have special needs basketball there. We do plan to possibly have after-school programs there. We'd like to see a kitchen and have special need kids that are able to work it and run it under guidance of some volunteers. So there's a lot of things that we're gonna be able to do once we get that civic center that we were unable to do. And thank God that we have grant writers. The clerk has taken a class, and Angel's been working with the actual grant writer we hired, and we feel really positive that we're gonna be able to get that thing done by the summer of next year, the end of the summer. And once we do, everyone's gonna enjoy all the different things that we're gonna be able to offer without raising property taxes. Everyone needs to know that. Even though costs went up for everybody, the township has not raised the taxes. We froze it. And we froze it last year, froze it this year, and we're gonna try not to raise it next year, because I don't wanna raise taxes at all. We have to find ways within our budget. The road commissioner feels the same way. Harmer Morella, the assessor, he feels exactly the same way. He's not here right now. But just know that we do not want to raise taxes ever if we can. And if we can reduce them again, we will. Go on to the next item. Farming license bid solicitations were published for the Welter Farm. We had only one proposal, and it was for $60 an acre, so I need a motion to approve Jeff Haas for $60 an acre for 4 years.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second the motion.
All right, I'll take a roll call. Trustee Bonomo?
Yes.
Trustee Clausen?
Yes.
Trustee Shea?
Yes.
Trustee Rivera?
Yes.
Supervisor Balich?
Yes.
I have to make a comment. Mike, I forgot to read the ordinance for the abatement of the taxes, and I believe I'm supposed to be reading that. Is that correct?
It's not commonly done where the ordinances are read word for word.
It's not, okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I don't think it's
Since
necessary.
it's been presented?
It was described in sufficient
Okay, very good.
particularity, you know, when you voted on it and it's on the agenda. and
Just
so
wanted to make
forth.
sure.
So,
Okay,
I'm
great.
sure it's available for public inspection, obviously.
Yes. Okay,
All those
perfect.
things. So,
All right.
so, yeah, no, I
Good to
think you're
know.
okay.
All right,
Not
thank you.
having read it word for word.
All right, thank you.
Okay, then we'll move on to the Highway Commissioner's report.
Happy holidays to everybody. First item, the Smith Road Long Run Creek Bridge replacement out in the northwest corner of the township. I don't know if any of you have been over there. It's a bridge that's in bad shape and needs to be replaced. We're getting relief for 80% of the costs for engineering and construction by entering into an IGA with City of Lockport and the Township, Lockport Township Road District, along with IDOT. So we're saving the taxpayers a lot of money there, over $1 million. So because this is a long-term engineering cycle, it's gonna be about 3 years. And because of that, we're waiting for temporary bridge shoring options to make sure that people that go across the bridge aren't gonna collapse the bridge, because it's in really bad shape. So the Phase 1 consulting engineer has been looking at the bridge, and I'm waiting for options for temporary bridge shoring for that, I have a status meeting with them tomorrow morning. The 2024 roadway paving program was a success. We're right now assessing our other roadways and bridges and culverts and sewer to see what we can improve in next year. We're gonna try to focus on subdivision streets and arterials at the same time if we can. Our goal is to hit about 2 miles. That's what our budget is typically from year to year. The roadway lighting program is still in cycle. The materials that were ordered by the contractor had delivery issues. We're postponing it until the spring of next year, unfortunately. The foundations will be poured first thing in the spring in April. The Highway Commissioners Grant, we decided to extend the applications until 12/31/2023. This was noted on the Homer Township Highway website, and it's also on the Homer Township website, I believe, right, Ms.
I believe
Bozen?
so.
I think we have 2 or 3 applications right now, so I'm excited about it. We should be announcing the winner in January. And lastly, we've had a couple of snow events and salting events already this year. Just to reassure all of our residents, we have 4 trucks now equipped with salt spreaders and plows. At any one time, we have between 2 and 3 people out plowing and salting. We do have a truck on reserve. We're operating at a 2.5 to 3 hour salt and plow cycle, which is excellent. That's pretty much the standard that's followed by most road districts. Typically, our first round of salting and snow removal is at 4 to 5 a.m., well before rush hour, which helps most people. We ask that you please be careful and understand that bridges freeze before roadways because there's air passing both below and above the decks. So be careful on bridges locally. We want you to watch out for black ice, obviously, when you're walking. And also, when it snows, please park in your driveway if you can to allow our plows to go up and down the streets without having to tow vehicles, which we don't want to do. If you have issues, you can contact me on my cell or at 708-301-0246, or you can email us. And that's everything that I got.
Thank you, Brent. Carmen Marilla has no report. We'll move on to the trustee committees and trustee reports. First one would be Senior Task Force, Mike Bonomo and Cindy Laha.
Well, yeah, I'd like to say a couple things. First of all, as was mentioned, we have a big day tomorrow. As a senior task force, we have our senior Christmas party. Excuse me. This is a build-up from 2.5 years that I've been part of the senior committee. Between myself and Cindy Laha, Angel, and I could probably mention about 30 names over the course of the last 2.5 years that have been volunteering their time to help us with all the events that go on with the seniors, whether it's the expo, a gardening event, what else have we done? We've done
The wreaths.
the Christmas crafts, again, and the expo, and has gone viral and has gained notoriety. I'm getting calls from people outside of the state, or actually from the state of Illinois, actually the Illinois State of Aging, wanting to get involved with what we're doing. And I'm not one that comments that are made towards me or directed at me on Facebook, but I was told I was incompetent in a decision that was made to move our venue from Coombs Corner to a banquet in Lamont. And I want to explain the reason why we made that decision. And in terms of the definition of competent, which I read, is having the necessary ability, knowledge, or skill to do something successful. I think we're pretty damn successful with what we've done for seniors. I have 240 people signed up to attend our event tomorrow. We couldn't have done it without the banquet. And I'm gonna go back as far as I've known the family that owns the banquet for the last 20 years. I coached their daughter in soccer, so that led me to them. They actually contacted me to offer their help. And they offered a deal that nobody else could offer. We did Taz's, which everyone knows is my cousin, Rosie, and she couldn't fit the amount of people that we have signed up for this event. Nobody in Homer Glen can, so I don't know what people expect from us. So Lamont, again, I think they represent technically our community because they're in the surrounding area and they live in Homer Glen, the family, so we chose them. And shame on those who question our decisions, which were made as a group, between Cindy Laha, myself, and Angel. We have worked countless hours, Vicky, Patty, everyone, again, there are a lot of people in this room, have put countless hours, not days, or even days, into what we've done leading up to this event, okay? And I can't thank them enough, and I always say it's the seniors that we do this for, not for ourselves. I mean, there's unelected officials that help out, take time out of their day. Like tomorrow, I'm taking a whole day out, I'm taking a day off of work to work this event for the seniors. That's how much it means to me. And we've had people donating money, gift baskets out of the blue. We had someone come in last week with $500 gift cards from Jewel for the senior event. Gift cards galore, hundreds of dollars donated to this event without having even to ask. So what does that say about our community for the ones that think we are competent in what we do? Okay? I'm not going to stop helping the seniors no matter what kind of backlash I get, because we're doing it for the right reasons, we're doing it for the right thing. And I'm sick and tired of people. We have an application on our website to apply to volunteer for any of our committees, mine probably being the most prominent, and people have gotten up to this voting question and why we don't accept volunteers, whatever. Fill out the application and we'll review it, and we're more than welcome to put you on if we choose to do so. So, for those that criticize, they want to take over the committee, they're more than welcome to. But I will not give it up without a fight. And I personally don't think they can do as good of a job as all of us can. I'll never take credit for doing what we do. It's a we, not an I thing. And again, I'm looking forward to tomorrow. You'll see pictures on Facebook of 240 happy seniors. And every month we have 100 plus coming to our senior bingos, enjoying themselves. And next year, and we've talked about it, I'm going to blow it out of the water. We're going to do so many events that I hope they get sick of it, to tell you the truth. So that's my goal. And we have the volunteers and the group to make it happen. And again, for those who criticize and criticize our Christian values and what have you, shame on you. And again, I'm never going to stop doing what we do. Thank you.
Okay, we're gonna move on to the Special Needs Committee. Angel Shake, Brent Porfilio, and Mike Gondak. And just so everybody knows, there's not a real lot going on yet, but there's gonna be a real lot coming up real soon. As soon as we get that Civic Center going, you're gonna be shocked at all the stuff. And I personally want to thank Mike Gondak for all the work he's been doing with this.
Thanks, Mike.
You've been a savior. Do any of you guys have a report you want to talk about?
Mike Sanzak has a report,
Mike does?
actually.
Yes, so I got a report on updating our communications and our brand mark. So the township since 1836 has always been about keeping taxes low and involving the local talent. So our current brand mark that we have is up there, you can see it. And for those of you that can't make it out, it's a tree that goes in with roots, and it's holding, in a very motherly fashion, a seedling. And that was done in a competition, a student competition we have. And that logo was done with a lot of love, and it really symbolizes Homer very well. So I tried to capture a lot of that vision into a new logo that we have. Now, we want an upgrade from that logo just so we can upgrade, so we can work in various print processes where that logo might not reproduce as well. And also just to have more pop at a distance. So what I want to say is, so a young child a long time ago gave Jesus two fish and 5 loaves of bread. And with that, Jesus fed 5,000 people. So with this concept, we're going to take and advance it to a new age and help out the 41,000 residents of Homer with this seed that came from this concept right here. So this is what the new logo looks like. Hopefully it's more readable at a distance. This can reproduce in anything you want to do. Whether you want to do vinyl cut, reproduce in stone, wood, litho, roto, gravure, flexography. So none of the colors touch, so you could do embroidery and all sorts of things with this logo. We got a brand guide for this that's like 18 pages long. But let's see, the important parts of this is at the top, if you can see, there's 2 versions of the logo. There's a horizontal version, and then there's a square version. So we have versions that will fit on any size item you want to put it on. And the whole brand guide has all sorts of different things, such as how to handle readability with the logo, alternate colors you can use with it, things you shouldn't do with the logo,
Bless you.
a whole bunch of things you should not do with that, but I think the more interesting things I'll show is how does it look when you actually put it on something. You know, we have the typography guys. You know, so here's how it looks. You use that version on the t-shirts. And I hope you can see from a distance, even make out that it says Homer Township on the logo with this new one. And it just works even in digital formats. RGB works well. So this logo should serve us very well, I hope, and I'm very honored to have been able to work on it. But along with this logo, we're also updating the website. You might have seen some changes. Some of you have visited the website. It used to have 12 items in the main navigation. We've taken that and moved it down to 7 total items. Now, we haven't really removed anything. We've just organized it more logically and better. We did that using something called a site map. Every single page was mapped out, and it was remapped to a new, more logical location. Some pages were removed that didn't just make any sense. The calendar page didn't have any calendar events, so no reason I want to go there. But I do plan on bringing that back once we bring in a module that can really handle doing calendar events well, because I think that's important for the community to know what events we have going on. So we're going to bring that back. We're going to bring it back working. So just want to say if anyone's going to be doing any kind of public-facing communications, please start using the new logo. You're going to get an email from me with access to it and the brand guide so you know how to use it, but use me. You know, don't try doing this yourself. You know, I've been doing this professionally for over 35 years. I'm an Adobe certified expert. I have traveled from Washington, D.C. to Washington State teaching people how to do this stuff. So I'm here to help out with that, and during the Christmas break, I'm pretty open. I'm going to get busy after the first of the year, but I want to get us through this and with a new brand, and I hope that's going to serve us well. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Beautiful.
We'll go, listen,
Oh, did you come to?
no, we're not done. We got the Resource Management Task Force, that's the whole board, basically, and nothing's really going on there. Other than, Angel might want to talk about the inventory thing that you and Mike were setting up.
Yeah, I mean, we're working on the inventory. Basically, right now, it's just a spreadsheet where, you know, the maintenance guys or whoever, you know, is working at Founders or any of the other, you know, residences, they just send us a, you know, an update every day, what they use. We remove it off the spreadsheet. You know, sometimes we have to tell them like, hey, we're running low on this or that, you know, can you be aware to go purchase it? But that's just basically it. It's just so, we're trying to go through our existing inventory so we don't spend any extra money. And, you know, it kind of helps because I know we've needed just a couple of little things at Founders the last few days, and we knew that we could just look on the list and like, oh, we have this, it's in this closet. So that's about it. So they know, you know, where it's located now.
You guys have done a good job with that, Mike, you know, you and Angel, God bless you. Move on to the Land Use Committee. That was what we already talked about. That was like a plan commission thing. And we just talked about that in the beginning. I forgot the line item, but we all thought it was okay. So move on to Founders Crossing Task Force. That's Mike Clausen and Angel Shake.
Okay, I can do this.
Yeah.
All right, so, first and foremost, we did a little bit of changing things around at Founders, so we gave the residents, a magnet, a big magnet, so that it could be read easily, because I have a hard time seeing stuff, so I figured, just gives them kind of a chain of command to follow if there's any issues. So the new chain of command is to either call Mike or myself, and then we dispatch it out to one of the guys. If it's during the day, we can go to any of the guys. If it's after hours, we usually go to Jimmy because, you know, he lives closest. It's worked out really well because we've had a lot of things happen after hours, where somebody can get there, you know, somebody can get there when there's an emergency really quickly. Plus, it's worked out with the snows that we just had and everything, so. Most important thing is we just wanna let everybody at Founders Crossing know that there will be no rent increases for 2024. So, whatever your rent is, you You know, right now, that's where your rent will be for 2024. There are no rent increases for 2024. And that's about it.
Thank you, Angel. Mike? Rob, do you have anything?
No.
Okay.
Steve, I'd like to recognize the extra effort that Jim Shake and Angel Shake put into Founder's Crossing. It's really impressive, the stuff that we know, but the stuff that we know that they have done is really above and beyond. And I'm proud to know both of them.
We're compiling a dollar amount of money that we've saved the township, and we're gonna send it out on our email blast from the township, and we're also gonna put it on our website once we get it. But we're gonna be able to show all the money that we've saved because we have qualified people that work for the township and volunteer for the township, that you have to pay a lot of money to get done. You know, like Mike Gondek, I don't know what he charges per hour. My guess is probably about $200 or $300 an hour. You know, because he's highly skilled, and he's putting in countless hours for us at no cost, because he's with us. Mike Clausen, he builds bridges like I-80. And his expertise is in building. And he's with Angel, who was a project manager at one time. You know, so it's all jiving. And Jimmy Shake, which a lot of people that go on Facebook complain about, he's a skilled tradesman in many facets. And he doesn't get $53 an hour. He works for us because he likes to work close to home with the township. Same with Bonomo. Mike, he has a business, and he takes off, I don't know how many days a week it take off, I mean a month, you know, but you probably at least 6, 7, just to do what you're doing. Robert Beer, when we have trouble with our HAV stuff, he comes out and he helps us decide how to address it. We don't know. Instead of paying somebody, we have somebody that understands how to do it, because that's what he does for a living. You know, so Brent, look what he's doing over the Civic Center, all the excavating stuff with our guys. So we save tons of money. So when I say we don't raise the taxes, but we get a lot accomplished, that's how we do it. We're getting it accomplished because we're using the people that we have to get these jobs done, and it's not costing the taxpayers money. And everybody that's doing this is volunteering because they like what they're doing. They live here, and they go along with the concept of fixing where we live. And so I'm really proud of this whole group, because while we're not raising taxes, if you look at all these other government bodies, they're all raising taxes because everything went up. The cost of gas went up, although it's dropped a little now, thank God. Electric's gone up, the cost of materials gone up, everything's going up. But the township is not going up because of all the efforts of everybody here. So I think that's real important to be said. So, again.
I want to add something too about the whole Founder's Crossing with Jimmy and Angel and Mike on board. One thing, the seniors are the most treasured people in our community. They're the ones that, they've been here the longest, obviously. And what they've done, they've gained the trust of the residents of Founder's Crossing. And I'm sure they'll have countless stories of, all the hard work that they've done voluntarily, I might add. They've gained the trust. And they can, it's real difficult to knock on someone's door and get them to answer. And I think they've gotten to a point to where they do, because they know they're gonna get the help. And I think that's the most important thing. And again, we have to commend their efforts and what they're doing right now.
And I just forgot about Jay Rhodey. He donates. I hate to bring it up, but we're talking about saving money. Something breaks that's electrical, we call Jay Rhodey and he comes and fixes it. He doesn't have to fix it and not charge us. He fixes it and doesn't charge us. So, again, and he's not even a trustee, he just lives here and he believes in our township. And there's other people too I can't think of, like Mike Carlson, he donates time with all the music for everybody. I mean, everybody donates something. Everybody is working on the same page to try and make this a better place to live, because it is where we live. So the next thing we're gonna do is a motion to approve all payment of bills for November 2023, Founder's Crossing Bond, Founder's Crossing General, General Assistance, Open Space, Park Developer, contribution, Park Town Road and Bridge, and Equipment and Building. Get a motion for that?
I'll start the motion.
I'll second.
Okay, I'll take a roll call. Trustee Shake?
Yes.
Trustee Clausen?
Yes.
Trustee Bonomo?
Yes.
Trustee Rivera?
Yes.
Supervisor College?
Yes.
Motion passes, thank you.
I have one thing for new business. Last month, there was a lot of commotion about having our maintenance guys go get a CDL so that they could drive a truck. Well, I knew what was coming, but I wanted to wait till I had a time frame. So February 2nd, one of our maintenance guys gets more or less the foreman. I don't know the right term for it, but I think we call him foreman.
Yes.
Maintenance foreman. He's gonna retire, and we're not gonna replace him. And you might say, well, how are you gonna do that? Well, we have the road district people who need our people on occasion to help. And we have our maintenance crew that on occasion can use the road people to help. So now instead of hiring another person, we're gonna be using, on the township side, if we have a problem and we need extra help, we're gonna call up Brent, and we'll get one or two of his guys to come over and help us. And if they need help, they'll call us, and we'll send one or two of our guys over. When our guys go to help them, they have to have a CDL, because they can't drive a snowplow truck without a CDL. So when you look at the big scheme of things, sending them to get their CDL is a hell of a lot cheaper than hiring a person and paying all the stuff that corresponds with it, all the benefits. It's already getting benefits. And it's nothing for them, just, you know, in the winter, there's less maintenance things. A lot of it has to do with maintenance of our equipment, where they have to go in and work all the equipment, get it all ready for spring. But on snow days, they can help the road district, and they've got 2 extra trucks. So if there's a big snow, we've got people to go out and do it. We don't have to go out and look for somebody. Please help us. We don't have to do that. We have our own here by joining both of them together. So we're saving a boatload of money. Again, that's how we don't raise taxes. By working together as a unit instead of having each individual person in charge of their own little fiefdom. We all work together here. And that's why your taxes aren't going up. And if we didn't do that, your taxes right now, you definitely would have a tax increase if we weren't working together. I'll tell you that right now. Because all the costs of everything's gone up. But because of this, because of the synergy that we have, we're able to keep everything without raising taxes. So that's so important. So I just wanted to point that out, because we had that discussion last month, and I think it wasn't clear, and I hope it's clear now. And so we'll move on to old business.